Marcus Chen wiped the sweat from his brow as he adjusted the quantum stabilizer beneath Service Level 3 of Nexus Station. The massive structure housed over 30,000 beings from across the Galactic Alliance, none of whom knew their maintenance worker was something far more than he appeared. To them, he was just another primitive human, permitted to live on the station due to their species' renowned ability to fix things. The stabilizer's diagnostic panel pulsed with a soft blue glow, illuminating the cramped maintenance tunnel. Marcus allowed himself a small smile as he heard the familiar chittering of Station Administrator Valix approaching, their six-legged gait unmistakable even through the metal flooring above. "Human Chen, your presence is requested in operations." Valix's translated voice echoed through his comlink. "Another one of those peculiar energy signatures has appeared." "On my way, Administrator," Marcus responded, carefully maintaining the slight tremor in his voice that the aliens had come to expect from humans addressing their superiors. The act had become second nature over the past 3 years. As he navigated the station's winding corridors, Marcus observed the various species going about their daily routines. Towering Zenthi merchants haggled with diminutive Poli traders. Crystalline Sorcath engineers discussed maintenance schedules with gelatinous Mu technicians. None of them gave him a second glance. Just another human, part of the background radiation of station life. The operations center housed the station's nerve center, a sprawling chamber filled with holographic displays and monitoring equipment. Valix stood at the central console, their iridescent carapace reflecting the red warning lights pulsing across the screens. "These energy signatures," Valix chittered nervously, manipulating the display with their forelimbs. "They match nothing in our database. They've been appearing with increasing frequency over the past month." Marcus studied the readouts, his enhanced neural implants, invisible to alien scanners, processing the data faster than any normal human could. He recognized the pattern immediately. Void Reapers, the most feared predatory species in known space, thought to be contained in the galactic core. If they were probing this far into Alliance space, perhaps a sensor malfunction, he suggested innocently, even as his quantum-encrypted transmitter was already sending an alert to other hidden guardians in the sector. "I could run a diagnostic on the array." Valix's antennae twitched in agreement. Yes, though our best engineers have found nothing wrong. Still, your species does have an unusual aptitude for maintaining things." The subtle condescension in Valix's voice would have once bothered Marcus. Now it was just another part of the cover. Let them think humans were clever pets, good with tools but lacking true sophistication. It made his real work easier. As he accessed the sensor controls, Marcus's implants detected a familiar signal. Another guardian, responding to his alert. The message was brief. "Confirmed. Multiple breach points detected. Estimated 72 hours until first incursion. Maintain cover. Support incoming." Marcus kept his expression neutral as he pretended to examine the sensor logs. 72 hours. 3 days to prepare this station of 30,000 civilians for an encounter with the galaxy's most lethal predators. 3 days to do it without revealing what he really was. "I believe I've found the issue," he lied smoothly. "There's a calibration error in the quantum field array. I'll need full access to the sensor grid to correct it." "Granted," Valix responded immediately. "Though I must ask, why would a calibration error produce such specific patterns?" Marcus shrugged, the gesture deliberately awkward. "Quantum mechanics can be strange, Administrator. Sometimes the simplest explanations are the correct ones." As Valix moved away, Marcus began the real work. His access to the sensor grid would allow him to plant the automated defense protocols he'd been hiding in the station's systems for years. Protocols that would activate when needed, giving the civilians a fighting chance. He thought of the stories aliens told about his species. Humans were curiosities, primitive but useful, barely accepted into galactic society. They didn't know about the network of guardians scattered across every major population center. They didn't know that humans had mastered technologies far beyond anything the Alliance possessed. They didn't know that humanity had appointed itself the silent protector of younger species, hiding their true nature to better serve as an invisible shield against horrors like the Void Reavers. In 3 days, some of those myths might be shattered. But if it meant saving lives, Marcus would gladly throw away his cover. After all, that was what Guardians did. The red warning lights continued to pulse across the operations center as Marcus worked, counting down to a revelation that would change the galaxy's understanding of humanity forever. The memory surfaced as Marcus worked, clear as the day it happened 20 years ago. He'd been just a cadet then, standing in the vast underground chamber beneath the Pacific Ocean that served as Guardian Command. The holographic display had shown the first Void Reaper attack on an unprotected colony, the massacre that had changed humanity's path forever. "We could have stopped this," Admiral Chen, his mother, had told the assembled cadets. "We had the technology, the weapons, the shields, but we revealed too much, too fast. The younger species feared us. They would have united against us rather than accept our protection. So now we work in shadows, invisible guardians of those who don't even know they need guarding." The maintenance tunnel's dim lighting brought Marcus back to the present. His hands moved across the station's power distribution network, planting dormant defense protocols while his mind wandered through the past. The first contact, nearly 50 years ago, had been a disaster. Humanity, proud of their achievements, had demonstrated their full technological capabilities to the Galactic Alliance. The reaction had been immediate and hostile. Fear, suspicion, talk of containment. Humanity's rapid advancement from planetary civilization to quantum supremacy in less than 3 centuries had terrified the older species. Their own development had taken millennia. They couldn't comprehend or accept such explosive progress. So humanity had made a choice. They staged their own technological regression, dismantled their most advanced public facilities, presented themselves as a promising but limited species, eager to learn from their galactic elders. The deception had worked perfectly, too perfectly, perhaps. Now they were seen as useful primitives, good with machines but lacking true sophistication. Marcus's comlink chirped softly. A message from another Guardian, encoded in quantum interference patterns no Alliance technology could detect. Position secured on level 47. Defense grid alpha in place. Status. He sent back a brief acknowledgement as he sealed another access panel. More Guardians were arriving, slipping aboard the station disguised as merchants, maintenance workers, or refugees. Each carried within them technological marvels that would shatter the Alliance's understanding of physics, if they knew to look for them. A gentle vibration ran through the station's superstructure. To most, it would feel like normal mechanical operation, but Marcus recognized the signature. Somewhere above, a cloaked human vessel had just docked, its quantum drives perfectly masked as ordinary reactor fluctuations. Support arriving, right on schedule. Human Chen. Valix's voice crackled through his official comlink. The energy signatures have increased in frequency. Our defensive council is convening. Your presence is requested. Marcus smiled grimly. The council would debate, discuss, and ultimately do nothing effective. The Alliance's bureaucracy was as predictable as it was inefficient, but that's why the Guardians existed, to act when others could only talk. Of course, Administrator, he responded, keeping his voice carefully deferential. Though I'm not sure how I could contribute to such an important discussion. Your species has demonstrated some skill at identifying unusual problems, Valix replied, their tone managing to be both condescending and worried. Perhaps you will notice something our experts have missed. As Marcus made his way to the council chamber, he passed more disguised Guardians. A nod here, a subtle hand signal there, a silent coordination of humanity's hidden defenders. In the station's crowded corridors, dozens of quantum-encrypted messages passed between them, invisible to even the most advanced Alliance sensors. The council chamber was packed with representatives from 20 different species, their voices rising in a cacophony of worried discussion. Marcus took his place in the back, playing the role of the humble human technician. But his enhanced senses took in everything. The tactical displays, the sensor readings, the patterns of movement that told him exactly how much time they had left. The Void Reapers were coming, humanity's greatest enemies, the reason the Guardian program had been created. They were the darkness that humanity had sworn to stand against, even if it meant hiding their true nature from those they protected. A message flashed across Marcus's neural interface. Final defense protocols in place, awaiting your command. He sent back a single word: ready. In less than 48 hours, the station's residents would learn why humans were more than they appeared. They would see the truth behind the myths, the power behind the facade. And perhaps, finally, they would understand why humanity had chosen to hide in plain sight, not out of weakness, but out of a strength tempered by wisdom and responsibility. The council's debates droned on, but Marcus was already preparing for war. After all, that's what Guardians did best, even if no one knew they were doing it. The attack came 12 hours early. The first breach tore through space like a wound in reality, dark energy cascading across the station's shields in waves of impossible color. Marcus was in the operations center when the sensors overloaded, their primitive detection systems unable to process the quantum distortions of Void Reaper technology. Impossible. Velix chittered, their carapace vibrating with fear. Our outer defense grid it's just gone. Marcus stood calmly amid the chaos, his neural implants already activating the hidden protocols. Throughout the station, quantum processors awakened from their dormancy, shedding their disguise as ordinary maintenance systems. The station's true shields, installed in secret over years by Guardian operatives, hummed to life. Administrator, Marcus said, his voice no longer carrying its usual submissive tremor, I suggest you initiate civilian evacuation protocols immediately. Velix's antennae whirled in confusion. Human Chen, this is hardly the time for. The second breach cut through their response. Through the operations center's viewport, Marcus watched the Void Reapers emerge. Their ships were organic mechanical horrors, twisted masses of dark matter and corrupted technology. Each one was the size of a small city, their surfaces rippling with weapons that defied conventional physics. This is Guardian control to all active operatives. Marcus broadcast through the quantum network. Execute Protocol Daybreak. Authorization Chen Alpha 7. The station shuddered as hidden systems activated. Panels slid away in maintenance corridors, revealing arsenals of advanced weaponry. Holographic interfaces sprouted from seemingly ordinary walls. Throughout the station, dozens of maintenance workers and merchants shed their passive demeanors, stepping forward to take command. What is happening? Velix demanded, watching as their control interfaces were superseded by systems they'd never seen before. We're saving your lives, Marcus replied simply, his hands dancing across a quantum interface that had materialized from his seemingly ordinary toolkit. Administrator, I need you to trust me. The evacuation orders. Now, perhaps it was his tone, or the way the advanced technology responded to his commands, but Velix complied without further argument. Evacuation alerts blared through the station as the first wave of Void Reapers struck. The battle that followed would be remembered in Alliance history for centuries to come. Void Reaper weapons, capable of tearing apart conventional ships with ease, splashed harmlessly against quantum shields that shouldn't have existed. Return fire came not from the station's registered defense systems, but from weapons hidden in maintenance shafts and cargo bays, their energy signatures masked until the moment of activation. And through it all, the humans, the simple, primitive humans, demonstrated combat coordination that bordered on prescience. Marcus directed the defense from operations, his neural implants processing battlefield data faster than any Alliance computer. Other Guardians led evacuation efforts, their enhanced strength and speed, allowing them to guide civilians to safety through damaged corridors. Second wave incoming. A Guardian's voice reported through the quantum net. "They're adapting to our shield frequency." Marcus nodded, watching the tactical display. "Shift to pattern delta. Activate the resonance cannons." Hidden emitters emerged from the station's superstructure, their technology so advanced it appeared magical to the watching Alliance species. Beams of coherent quantum energy lashed out, shredding Void Reaper ships into their component atoms. But the Reapers were relentless. Where one fell, two more emerged from their dimensional breaches. The station's hidden defenses were holding, but they wouldn't last forever. "Guardian Control, this is Guardian Actual." A new voice cut through the quantum network. "Reinforcements arriving in 3 minutes. Hold position." Marcus allowed himself a grim smile as he recognized the voice. Admiral Chen herself, leading the response fleet. Through the viewport, he watched as space twisted and folded. Where there had been empty void, suddenly there were ships, hundreds of them. Human ships, dropping their cloaks to reveal sleek vessels of impossible design. The Void Reapers, for the first time, seemed to hesitate. "Still think we're primitives," Marcus murmured, watching Valak's expression of pure shock. "Administrator, I believe it's time we had a very long conversation about humanity's role in the galaxy." The battle was far from over, but the breaking point had passed. The facade had been shattered, and with it, the galaxy's understanding of humanity would change forever. The question was, were they ready for the truth? The operations center had become a testament to shattered illusions. Alliance officials stood in stunned silence, watching as human ships danced through space with impossible grace. Each movement defied their understanding of physics. Each weapon discharge demonstrated technology they'd thought centuries beyond reach. "We should have told you sooner," Marcus said quietly, addressing the assembled alien leaders. "But you weren't ready. Your fear of our advancement would have led to conflict, and we didn't want war. We wanted to protect." Admiral Chen's hologram stood beside him now, her presence commanding even as a projection. 50 years ago, when we first contacted the Alliance, we showed you everything. We showed you quantum manipulation, dimensional folding, consciousness transfer, and you reacted exactly as we feared, with terror." Valak's antennae drooped in acknowledgement. We thought you were too dangerous, too advanced too quickly. Our history suggested that such rapid development could only lead to aggression. Instead, Marcus continued, we chose to hide, to watch, to protect. Every human you've dismissed as a simple maintenance worker, every merchant you've overlooked. They're all guardians, all of them carrying technology that could revolutionize the galaxy, but choosing to keep it hidden for your sake. Through the viewport, another Void Reaper ship dissolved under concentrated quantum fire. The battle had shifted decisively since the arrival of the human fleet, but the cost was clear: decades of careful deception, undone in a single day. The Void Reapers have been humanity's enemy for centuries, Admiral Chen explained. We've fought them in secret, keeping them contained in the galactic core. But they're growing stronger, expanding their reach. We knew this day would come, when we'd have to choose between maintaining our secret and saving lives. A Xenthi counselor stepped forward, their massive form trembling slightly. All this time, every human on every station, every colony. Not every human, Marcus corrected. Most of our species lives normally, unaugmented, exactly as you perceive them. But some of us choose to serve as guardians. We hide in plain sight, maintaining the technology that protects you, waiting for moments like this. Displays around the operations center showed the battle's aftermath. Human ships were deploying quantum repair arrays, restoring damaged sections of the station in minutes rather than months. Medical teams revealed advanced healing technology, saving those who would have been beyond help with Alliance medicine. We understand your fear, Admiral Chen said softly. Humanity's path has been unique. We compressed millennia of development into centuries. But that advancement came with understanding, the knowledge that power requires responsibility. We could have conquered. Instead, We chose to protect. Valix moved to a console, their limbs moving uncertainly over the quantum interface. These systems, they've been here all along. Watching. Waiting? Marcus nodded. Every Alliance station, every major colony, all of them have Guardian teams. All of them have hidden defenses like this. We've stopped dozens of threats you never knew existed, prevented wars you never knew were coming. And now, a Poli representative asked, their crystalline form refracting the light from the quantum displays. Now that we know. Now we offer you a choice, Admiral Chen replied. We can help you understand this technology, teach you to use it responsibly. Or we can rebuild our facade, return to hiding, continue protecting from the shadows. The decision must be yours. The silence that followed was heavy with possibility. Marcus watched the alien leaders process this revelation, their worldview shifting fundamentally. Some showed fear, others curiosity, and a promising few, showed understanding. The Void Reapers will return, Marcus reminded them. They always do. The question is, will you face them alone, or will you accept our help? Not as primitives to be tolerated, but as equals who chose to hide their strength. Through the quantum network, Marcus could sense other Guardians across the station, across the sector, waiting for the response. Humanity's greatest secret had been revealed, their greatest deception exposed. Now they would learn if the galaxy was finally ready for the truth. The decision came not with grand speeches or formal declarations, but with a simple gesture. Valix stepped forward, their carapace still bearing scorch marks from the battle, and placed a hand on the quantum interface Marcus had revealed. Teach us, they said simply. 3 months had passed since the Void Reaper attack. Nexus Station had been fully restored, its true defensive capabilities now openly integrated with Alliance systems. In the Operations Center, humans worked alongside alien specialists, no longer hiding their expertise behind careful facades of simplicity. The quantum harmonics need to be precisely calibrated, Marcus explained to a group of Sorkath engineers, their crystalline forms reflecting the holographic displays. The technology isn't actually complicated. You've been on the verge of discovering it yourselves for centuries. Admiral Chen's weekly briefings had become a regular fixture of station life. Today, she stood before the Alliance Council, no longer a hidden protector but an acknowledged leader in galactic defense. The Void Reapers aren't defeated, she reminded them. They're regrouping, adapting. But now we face them together, combining human innovation with Alliance wisdom. Our strength was never in our technology. It was in our choice to use it wisely. Throughout the station, other changes were evident. Guardian training facilities, once hidden in supposedly abandoned sections, now openly recruited from all species. The quantum network had been carefully expanded to include trusted Alliance members, creating a new generation of protectors. It's strange, Marcus said to Valix as they watched a mixed team of human and alien defenders run combat drills. For so long we defined ourselves by what we had to hide. Now we're defined by what we choose to share. The administrator's antennae waved thoughtfully. Perhaps that was the final test. Not whether we could accept your power, but whether you could trust us with it. An alert pulsed through the quantum network. Another Void Reaper probe detected at the galaxy's edge. But now the response came not just from hidden Guardians, but from a unified defense force. Human quantum ships flew alongside Alliance vessels, their crews working together with the efficiency that comes from mutual trust and respect. Guardian Control, this is Unified Response Team Alpha, a Xenthi captain reported, their voice carrying the confidence of proper training. Moving to intercept. Marcus watched the tactical display, remembering his mother's words from so long ago. They had hidden to protect, had deceived to defend. But perhaps the greatest protection, the strongest defense, came from standing together in the light. The galaxy is changing, Admiral Chen observed during one of her visits to the station. Not because we reveal our technology, but because we reveal our choice. The choice to use power not for dominance, but for defense. The signs were everywhere. Alliance species began developing their own quantum technologies, guided by human mentors who ensured the knowledge was paired with wisdom. The Guardian program evolved, becoming a true galactic defense force rather than a hidden human shield. And the Void Reapers? They still probed, still tested, still threatened. But each incursion was met with increasing unity, each attack turned back by defenders who combined human innovation with Alliance determination. We made the right choice, Marcus told a group of new Guardian recruits, human and alien alike. Not just in revealing ourselves, but in hiding for so long. We needed to learn wisdom before we could teach power. The quantum network hummed with activity, ships moving, defenders training, civilizations growing together. Humanity's greatest deception had become the galaxy's greatest strength. They were no longer hidden guardians, but acknowledged protectors, trusted allies, respected teachers. In the end, that was humanity's true legacy. Not the power they had hidden, but the wisdom they had shown in hiding it. Not the technology they had developed, but the responsibility they had demonstrated in using it. The facade was gone, but something stronger had replaced it. Trust, earned through sacrifice and proven through protection. And in the depths of space, where Void Reapers still lurked and new threats still emerged, that trust proved to be the strongest defense of all.